Hello, Astro friends. It's Melanie on the 5th of March 2026 with the Astro Weather for the week that started technically yesterday, the 4th, right after the total lunar eclipse on March 3rd, 3 at 3:33 a.m. And what an eclipse that has been. No kidding, right? So if you have anything in the center of the mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, you would have definitely felt it. I mean, the world felt it, right? So this has been really a blood moon eclipse, and it's been crazy, not just since the eclipse, but also since the year of the fire horse, which started after the annular ring of fire solar eclipse on February 18th. And February the 18th is when the year of the fire horse started, the 17th when the eclipse was. So we are in unprecedented times, that's for sure. Saturn and Neptune are in Aries, did their conjunction on the 20th, and so much fire energy. I don't need to explain it. All the precedents of war. Is it a new era of precedents? Maybe on some level. Yes, we have to get that out of the system, that lots of us are very concerned or upset, or a mix of the feelings and thoughts going on with the newest situation in the Middle East. And of course, astrology offers reference and offers also medicine, I would call it. It is therapeutic because you can see the different dimensions on which this can manifest, and how we are called to express it on better and higher vibrational ways than it does currently. Actually, in fact, the total lunar release eclipse in Virgo is all about not feeling small, not feeling nothing we can do, we're just a cog in the wheel, we are just doing our little thing while the world is going messy and crazy. And yeah, so we're playing small. No, we can all contribute. What is our part? How is this eclipse calling us into service, in fact, for the greater good? Also in combination, of course, with Aquarius, where Pluto is now, for humanity to be more empowered and to go for freedom rather than more suffering. And of course, a lot of shadow is coming out also with Pluto in Aquarius, bringing things to the light that have to do with the systems, because there's a whole system, there's a whole war industry, a whole war machine behind that. It's not about one person or two people, yes, who behave pretty autocratically, but if we keep giving them energy, if we keep pointing the finger, we're still the victims, right? We're still identifying with the old Pisces victim consciousness, and we're perpetuating actually the entanglement, the codependencies of victims, perpetrators, and saviors and martyrs. So we're all called to get out of that funk now and move up in the energy, so that this whole pattern of the old Pisces age, with so much suffering, often in the name of religion and ideology, can actually come to an end. And we can invoke also from our Virgo practice, from a spiritual practice, we can individually also invoke energies to help us on other dimensions. They are available, they want to help. We need to also intentionally trust and have faith in them, and actually bring them on board to help see the Middle East in a ring of light rather than a ring of fire, is one of the suggestions here. And of course, your intuition, your inner guidance, your angels, they are with us now, especially also with Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is coming to another level here, which is the conjunction with the Sun on March the 7th. The halfway point of Mercury retrograde is when actually Mercury goes behind the Sun in the zodiac, so Mercury has been ahead. I show you that quickly, just the Mercury part on the total lunar eclipse chart. Mercury here ahead of the game, the Sun behind. The Sun was with the North Node. Mercury is going backwards while the Sun is moving forwards from Earth perspective. And on March the 7th, they change places. And yeah, so March 7th, halfway point of Mercury retro, is also, as every Mercury Sun conjunction, called the day of enlightening insights. So not just on that day, literally, but it's a marker for not letting the mind run the show, but actually let heart, spirit, consciousness be the source of insights, and go by that, and let the mind be the servant, right? So this is a new momentum in that regard. After the eclipse, where a lot has come down, a lot is being washed out now in the post-ecliptic waning moon phase. Yeah, so before the next new moon on the 18th of March will be just before the spring equinox. So this is now also on a very practical level a fantastic time for spring cleaning and clearing of all sorts of energetic gunk that is sitting around us, that we have taken in or have attached to, like just literally things that are sticky, and to clear and bring new energy, new light, new life into the world, rather than everything is going down and into destruction. And yeah, so we need to add that we're not spiritually bypassing. We're very aware of the situation. We're seeing the precariousness, the seriousness, but also in the face of that, we are doing something. It's just like feel the fear and still go for love, right? So we're not just being in a bubble, right? And yeah, so what else comes with that eclipse? This is again the chart of the eclipse. Yes, it catalyzed Saturn Neptune in early Aries. Yes, this was also a precedent, maybe not so much of a unexpected new war situation, and yet it's also for us now with Saturn in Aries, which just started on February the 13th, Friday the 13th, which is, by the way, not a bad luck day. I actually just had a session with a client who was born on a Friday the 13th, and this year also had her birthday on a Friday 13th. So it's the day of goddess. Of course, the religions were scared of that power and energy, and twisted it into a very unfortunate, very bad luck day. So it's basically a spell was cast on Friday the 13th, which is related to Freya, goddess of love, Venus, and to the moons, to the 13 moon cycles per year. So every year has either 13 new moons or 13 full moons. So let's celebrate goddess energy with also Saturn in Aries. The new energy of the feminine is arising. The sacred feminine, it's not women against men, it's the feminine energy coming on board with love versus the war god, Mars, and also the old empires, typically very patriarchal, right? So even the first degree of Aries, where the alignment of Saturn and Neptune was on February 20th, has the Sabian symbol. You can look that up in my article for the alignment down in the show notes. There's lots of blog articles to be found on my blog. So the Sabian symbol of Saturn Neptune on the first degree of Aries is a woman rising from the sea. A seal is embracing her. The seal is the energy of the residues of the Pisces age, right? And she brings consciousness, new life, new light, new creativity into the picture. And this is what we need to go for. Saturn and Neptune together can be many things. It can be the overwhelming Neptune, out of control, out of bounds situation of war and the fear that goes along with that, Saturn, right? So, but it can be also Saturn in pure archetypal sense. Saturn and Neptune is also about spiritual teachings. It's the teacher, it's the spirituality. So, how do spiritual teachings they really need to be applied now, right? And even the Virgo Pisces axis of the total lunar eclipse is about spiritual practice, right? So bring it back into daily life and notice also what a difference it makes when we are really connected with spirit, guided by spirit, rather than by these lower forces that keep us stuck, keep us in fear, keep us small, right? All of that. It's actually spirit, and it's we are spirit in human form. That doesn't mean we are not, don't care about our lives or something. Actually, we do, and we care very much about humanity, but we are not being pulled back into the ghosts of the past, which are now totally showing up full force as they are also on the way out, right? As so much light is coming to um, all these shadowy situations, including Epstein, of course, right? At very timely, at Pluto being on post-mortem on Epstein's sun on the cusp of Capricorn Aquarius, where Pluto just moved over end of November 2024, bringing out the shadow of the system. This Capricorn Aquarius uh, juncture is about the system, is about governments, hierarchies, or authorities, or any hierarchical structures, and the people that run that, and on some level, right, on that shadowy level. So this is totally coming out. It's not about blue versus red or whatever your colors are in your country. It's really about integrity. It's about humanity. So who are the ones the ones in the light, not in the limelight of the media, but in the light, who actually really work for humanity, and to be in that power and to give that energy and be part of it, right? To step up to that. And this is what Pluto is calling us for now. Then we have this week also what's new. Venus goes into Aries on the 7th of March. That is also quite a shift coming out of Pisces, where it's been also about so much, we're being connected to the all. Yes, that's beautiful, that's very loving, can be also being sucked into the media, right? And when Venus goes into Aries, which is in the morning of February 6th, actually tomorrow. Did I say February 7th? So here we go. February 6th it is. And until, I'm saying February, Mercury retro, March 6th. Venus goes into Aries until March 30th. So here we have it. And this is also the new feminine goddess energy emerging. Guess what? She will line up with Neptune and Saturn. She will, in fact, pass Neptune first and then Saturn on the weekend. And so Venus is taking the lead, right? That's pretty cool. And we have also on a Sunday the 8th, Lilith, being known as wild woman energy, the energy of being unconditioned and free, undomesticated, so to say, right? Rewilding ourselves means also getting out of all conditioning. And Lilith has been in Sagittarius since winter solstice and 2025 until the 14th of September 2026. And she will now, so first of all, Lilith in Sag is all about unconditioning ourselves from old stories, old beliefs, old trajectories, old truths even, or we consider as truth or body into, and come back to who we were before we heard that story, for example, right? That story that conditioned us. And Lilith will be in, already is, since the lunar eclipse, but you can see it here, Lilith, in exact T square on the 8th. This is totally that week building up for that with the nodes. Oops, a little windy here. So with the north node in Pisces and the south node in early Virgo. So that alignment becomes exact for Lilith on the 8th. So she activates the nodal axis, and that nodal axis is about releasing on the Virgo side what we've been conditioned, right, to feel too small. I'm only a woman doing this thing, and all that mess out in the world I don't care about. No, we need to care about it, but not from a place of anxiousness, worry, concern, but from doing our work, our service to also bring to light truth, right? And our heart truth, not again truth, one truth against another, right? This is again ideology and so on, but actually our heart truth, move with our heart and be on that journey. Speaking of journey, we have also the ruler of Sagittarius, Jupiter, going direct again out of retro to direct again forward from Earth perspective on March 10th, when also the moon will be in Sagittarius. What a turning point that will be, and sets the tone for the next month when Jupiter is direct until December 12th, until 12/12 this year. And from end of June on, we'll already enter Leo. But for now, Jupiter is still in Cancer. Jupiter is now in the center of Cancer, where it is stationary doing this turnaround thing. And in central Cancer is also where the star Sirius is. Sirius is a bright blue diamond like star. I hope you see Sirius through a telescope someday. It's really amazing. And it's the star of liberation. It's really about liberté, right? So you have also countries having been founded with the sun close to Sirius. That was the U.S., that was Canada, that was also France, right? So central Cancer, and for the U.S., I must say, it is now also Sirius is on the U.S. sun. So it is time for the U.S. really to liberate themselves from old trajectories, again, old beliefs, old missions. And maybe also, since it is in the U.S. 7th house, 8th house, I should say. I have the chart here, 7th, 8th house cusp. It's about others, in this case, also other countries, getting involved with them in a way that is not beneficial, but actually humanity, and in this case also US people need to wake up and liberate themselves from these old paths, right, to put it mildly. And in terms of US and so on, in my article for the total lunar eclipse, you can also find my take on the current transits of Iran, of Israel, of the US, and of Trump. I did extra feature on that within that article, and I might also post it separately here. I just haven't gotten to it yet on my Facebook page. And it's really cool to see the charts and their activations and what's going on with that, and how that also has to do with our outflowing Pisces age that we need to leave behind. Then what else is going on this week? Yes, we're still in the second, in the central part of Pisces, which has a Scorpio undertone until that was since March the 1st until the 9th. Yes, we're totally in the thick of it, and going deeper is just an understatement that I had for this, a very neutral way of putting the central part of Pisces. So really diving into in this case also Pisces age shadow, and the purge of that, the transformation of that. And as we are moving into the third half, third, third, third decade of Pisces on the 10th, from the 10th to the 19th. It has a Pisces undertone. So it's now all about releasing. It's about letting go. It's about allowing the energy to wash out and yeah, clear, clean, right? It's a preparation for spring, literally. And let's look at the moon this week. We have currently the moon in Libra. Today it's already the 5th. So the moon entered Libra yesterday morning, the 4th, after the Virgo eclipse. And will be in Libra until tomorrow afternoon at tomorrow evening, Friday evening at 8:01 p.m. So this is about right relationship. This is about the dynamic between people. It's about harmony, finding balance, peace. Moon in Libra, we need peace. And what contributes to peace? How can we cultivate peaceful relations, be ourselves in balance and in harmony, and not fake, not like kind of suppressing our anger and so on, but actually doing the work that authentically brings us into that state, and relating from that place to the world, and also, yes, doing justice to, which has to do with balance again, right? Finding balance in our lives. Maybe things have gone really out of balance lately. And then the moon goes into Scorpio, a waning moon in Scorpio. As I said, Friday evening, starting Pacific, and going until Monday, the 9th at 4:28 at 8:37 a.m. So that's definitely Scorpio moon, full on Scorpio moon weekend, waning moon. Also, it's a lot about emotional purge. Of course, lots of people will come together on the weekend also to discuss various things, to process and share their feelings. But yeah, I just encourage you not to get attached to the dark, which is a challenge these days, but it's important. And not get attached to fear or all sorts of scenarios, because we also give it energy that way, right? And to actually look into our own core, emotional core. How does this actually affect us in essence? What is there that really gets triggered at this point? And then tending to that, it's also Jupiter in Cancer is in trine with the Scorpio moon, right? So we can be gentle, we can be caring, we can be mothering ourselves in this process. And also on, so as I said, yeah, I said those things about Venus. Okay. Then the moon goes into Sagittarius on the 9th, as I said, in the morning. We'll be in Sag until the 11th in the evening, while surrounding the 10th, while Jupiter, the ruler of Sag, goes direct again. So this is definitely an uplifting energy. This is also seeing more what's going on, seeing things for what they are, and having a better understanding. And the truth is super important with Sagittarius. Truth brings freedom. I leave it with this. I think that's a good note to end on. I wish you a beautiful week, and yeah, let's be the light. And yeah, take care. See you next week. Ciao.